Hey everyone, welcome back, and this is going to be a bit of a different video here. Hold on a sec. I'm going to be starting a new series of videos called Manga Recommendations, where I pick a particular manga series that I'm a fan of that doesn't really seem to get the recognition that I feel it deserves. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit in a video, not really a review, because a review I go into like all aspects of it. And, you know, if you watch my reviews, you know I have no qualms about spoiling anything and everything. But these are going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to talk about for a little bit. And I'm going to start a new series as well called Anime Recommendations sometime. Okay. Anyways, though, the first manga that I'm going to be recommending is The Flowers of Evil, also known as Hana. Now, this one's a weird one because it's not too big, although there is a certain niche audience for it. But I love Hana. It actually ended earlier this year. Okay, with like 50-some chapters, I'm pretty sure. It ended earlier this year. I own the first 4 volumes of it. Okay, I bought them at Barnes & Noble like, well over a year ago. That was actually when I went to a Mall of America once, well over, in early 2013, I found these first 4 volumes. Never heard of The Flowers of Evil before, but I decided to buy them. And I read them, then I read the rest on Scandalations online. And I fucking love it. I've done a few chapter reviews, although not many. I do plan on doing a full-fledged review of this series. I just need to get around to it. But this is a weird manga, okay? It really is. The main premise revolves around this boy named Casca, who is basically a wimp in every sense of the term. And he has a crush on this girl. I forget what her name is. After the time skip, she doesn't really appear there at all. Except for one fucking time, and I don't even think she's referenced again after that, or any other time for that matter. But he has a crush on her. He calls her his, angel and whatnot. Even though in the beginning I don't think she even knows he exists, or at least she doesn't acknowledge his fucking existence. Okay, right. But he also ends up meeting a girl named Sawa. Okay, and then shenanigans ensues. This is a fucked up manga. It's not the most fucked up manga I've ever read, but it's definitely a fucked up manga. And I'll tell you right now, it's definitely not for everyone. Although I do think that it deserves a bigger fan base. Okay, because you will never expect anything in this series to happen, but it does. And do not expect happy endings for any of these main characters. It's called The Flowers of Evil for a reason. I'm just going to hold these up here one by one. Remember, this is volume 1, and so on, 4 volumes. Yeah, this is called The Flowers of Evil for a reason. Do not expect any happy endings for any of the main characters. Okay, really don't. This is the chick here I was talking about, which Casca at first had a crush on. Okay. And he also, in part 2, he actually ends up moving and he ends up meeting a girl named Tokiwa. And although it looks like that he's going to end up with her in the end, your mind really gets fucked at the very last second of this entire series when it ends. That's the biggest mind fuck in the series, okay? It really is. I need to go pick up more of these volumes just simply because I love this series so fucking much. One of my favorite mangas right now. It really is, okay? Disregard the anime, in my opinion. It's shit, but it does not do the manga justice. I consider it to be offensive, okay? Because the manga is so fucking good. I think it's a masterpiece in its own regard. Now, you may believe differently, because like I said, it's not for everyone, okay? I could see certain reasons why some people wouldn't like this. Some people just don't like, fucked up shit. And again, this is, like I said before, this isn't the most fucked up manga I've ever seen, but it's not the most normal manga I've ever seen either, okay? So I do definitely recommend The Flowers of Evil in my own personal opinion. I think you should at least check a few chapters out first, or maybe an entire volume or 2 before you actually judge it. I don't know how many actual volumes have been released yet. This is the first 4, but I don't know how many volumes are in the entire series for you to buy. But So go check it out. I definitely recommend it. And one interesting thing in this manga, like, you wouldn't know it just... Hold on a sec here. You wouldn't know it just by looking at a lot of these pages. But later on in the manga, it gets to the point where there's very little dialogue. Okay. Very little dialogue, lots of pictures. The pictures are beautifully drawn, by the way. And it only gets better as the manga goes on. And it gets to the point where later on in the manga, there's very little dialogue at all, and it's mostly just pictures later on. But the pictures are drawn so well. The two things determines this: one, the way that the pictures that are drawn, and two, how well they're drawn, and three, the way they're drawn. All three of those things determines the fact that it's able to tell you so much with very little, if any, words. Again, this doesn't happen too often early on in the manga, but later on it definitely does. Okay. So anyways, I think I'm going to wrap up this video though. Check out The Flowers of Evil, aka Akuno Hana. I definitely recommend it. Anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. This manga recommendations, guys. See you after, guys. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.